Well, Donald Trump has had a lot to say today about the Democratic nominee and the party's convention. The Republican presidential nominee spoke to reporters a short time ago at his golf club in Florida. He said White House allegations that Russia hacked into the Democratic National Committee emails are, quote, a deflection. But he offered a message to Russia about Hillary Clinton's emails as Secretary of State. Take a listen.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press. Let's see if that happens.
Senior White House correspondent Jim Acosta is covering the Trump campaign and joins us now live. Great to have you with us, Jim. Essentially, in that soundbite, as we heard, Trump giving the green light for a foreign country to carry out cyber espionage.
That's right, Linda. I mean, it was sort of astonishing to hear Republican presidential candidates say to Vladimir Putin, say to Russia that, yes, go ahead and keep on hacking. He essentially invited Russia to hack into Hillary Clinton's missing emails, and if he can somehow find out what happened to those missing emails, release them to WikiLeaks and I guess the rest of the world. That seemed to be what Donald Trump was suggesting when he made that comment. And he even paused for a moment, looked right into the news cameras to make sure that the moment was not missed. Now, in addition to that, I think, Linda, throughout this news conference, Donald Trump was signaling that it would just be a new day in the Oval Office, in the White House, if he's elected president, when it comes to U.S. policy toward Russia. He did not, I asked him very directly, will you call on Vladimir Putin to stay out of this election? He declined to do that. I also asked him, would he come to the defense of the Baltic nations if they are subject to some sort of Russian aggression during his presidency? And he declined to say that he would honor that NATO commitment. Of course, the NATO charter says an attack on one is an attack on all. Donald Trump did not seem to embrace that concept during this news conference. And he was also pressed because the Democrats have raised this as an issue, as an accusation, at this point, unfounded accusation that somehow, because of Donald Trump's past business interests in Russia, that is why he has this softer approach on Vladimir Putin. At one point during this news conference, Trump seemed to say he has nothing to do with Russia, has no business interests in Russia, when in fact he did hold a Miss Universe pageant there several years ago. So there was a lot of focus on Russia during this news conference, Linda. I think the other very interesting development that occurred during this news conference at the very end, I asked Donald Trump about that popular chant, "Lock her up," referring to Hillary Clinton at the Republican convention last week. You know, this was the most popular chant that we heard from the crowd at that Republican convention. Donald Trump at that point said he did not agree with that. He said that he thought that was a shame, and he wished he had gotten more credit for that when he said to those people chanting that during his speech last week that they shouldn't be chanting that. So he made it pretty clear today that even though he feels that Hillary Clinton, you know, got herself into hot water with this use of a private email server as Secretary of State, that she should not go to prison because of it.
And Jim, Trump also spoke about the Democratic convention and the speeches, particularly Bill Clinton's speech, which obviously a lot of people are talking about today, about how personal that speech was. But Trump said he left out the most interesting chapter, the chapter I waited for but never heard.
Right. Yeah, right. That's right, and I think you'd be a fool to not assume that what he was talking about there. He was talking about Bill Clinton's affair with Monica Lewinsky and the impeachment that followed during the second term of his presidency. Donald Trump seemed to be saying at that point during this press conference here in Florida that why didn't Bill Clinton bring that up during his speech last night, taking a direct jab at Bill and Hillary Clinton. But keep in mind, Linda, this is something that he's done repeatedly out on the campaign trail. He's referred to Hillary Clinton in the past as the enabler-in-chief when it comes to the former president's indiscretions. And so I think that's only a sign of things to come. Donald Trump is not going to hold back when it comes to that aspect of the Clinton presidency. He's going to keep talking about it.
Jim Acosta, as always, great to have you with us live from Florida. Thank you.